Thank you for joining me here on my channel. Um, Today's video, I want to talk about something that's been sitting with me for years now because it's something that I have used as a tool in developing into the self I desire to be. Um, and I've been sitting with this for a while because it's personal, it's sacred, and it's real. We're talking about waist beads, and not just as something cute or sexy, although it is all of that, but waist beads as a portal into body awareness, sensual connection, and self acceptance. I want to share how wearing my Mickey Magic belly beads helped me shift from being self conscious about my body to being deeply self aware and embodied. We're going to explore the difference between self consciousness and self awareness and how this shift changed how I show up in the world, in my magic, and in my healing. So let's start with a little bit of a story. I didn't always feel good in my body. In fact, for a long time, I was hyper aware of what I looked like, but not in a loving way. I would check how my stomach looked in the mirror, pull my shirt down, suck it in, judge myself in every reflection I passed. You may know what that's like. That's what being self conscious felt like, being watched. When, even when I was alone, I felt like I was performing or bracing myself for a critique. When I started experimenting with body jewelry and making jewelry for myself and wearing it at the same time while making it for other people, I was kind of going through this stage of development. Waist beads came into my life almost like a whisper, like my ancestors were nudging at me, like legit. It was just calling me. Like I didn't have a lot of references around me that brought them to mind. It was just like this calling out of nowhere. And I remember the first time I tied a strand around my waist and something shifted. I didn't just see my body, I felt it. Not in a shameful way, not in a performative way, just felt it, present, here, breathing, soft, sacred in my own skin. So, what is the difference between being self conscious and being self aware? Being self conscious is rooted in judgment. It's about how others might perceive you or how your inner critic imagines that others do, or how your inner critic is judging you itself. It's tied to shame and comparison and control. You're in your head watching yourself from the outside. Self awareness, though, that's internal. It's intimate. It's like coming home to yourself, how you notice how you breathe. You notice the way that your hips sway. You notice how your belly rises and falls when you're breathing. Not correcting it or trying to hide it, but honoring it. It's body presence. It's sensual truth. And it grows over time with softness and intention. Wearing waist beads helped me become aware of my body in the most sacred of ways. When I sat down, I felt the beads roll up, and I was even more aware of how I sat down, taking my time sitting down, because as I began to start wearing waist beads, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't sitting in a position or in a way that would make my waist beads snap or break. So when I sat down or when I moved moved my clothing or removed my clothing, I was more self-aware in how I did it. When I danced or when I moved about, I'd hear the tiny jiggle of my beads, the little rattle that they make, and just forming that sound and being intentional with movements so that I can hear that sound. When I was bloated or on my cycle or even heavy with emotion, the beads didn't shame me. They adjusted with me, or they let me know, hey, you can take them off. Because after I wore my first strand, which was a tie-on that I bought from someone, I started making my own Mickey Magic belly beads. It was what I called them at the time, but I've moved on to Mickey Magic beads and crystals. But nonetheless, when wearing my Mickey Magic belly beads, my body would let me know, it's okay to take them off and allow my body to feel the bloat and the heaviness of the emotion, or just not wanting anything to touch my skin, so I could adjust them or just take them off. It made me aware of how I felt in my body. And they never said to me that you're too much. What they did say is, you're here, you're alive, you're functioning, your body works, you're magic. They became a ritual, a check-in, a self-check-in. And getting naked, looking in the mirror, it became a quiet self-celebration. They helped me to see my belly was not something to hide, but a drum of wisdom, a center of power, a place of creation. And every time I put on a new strand, I'd set intentions for love and for confidence, for sensuality, for grounding, for authenticity. That's what Mickey Magic Belly Beads are rooted in. If you've ever If you've never worn waist beads before, or maybe you've worn them and you didn't really feel connected, maybe start with an intention. Don't just wear them for aesthetics, though they are very beautiful. Wear them as a prayer. Wear them as a daily reminder or as a devotion to self. Check in with how they feel when you breathe deeply. Notice what thoughts come up. Is it love? Is it resistance? And hold space for all of it without judgment. Maybe journal about them. Maybe sleep in them. Maybe wear them under your clothes like a secret kiss to yourself. Maybe wear them on the outside of your clothes. Maybe take them off of your waist and put them on your neck and wear it as a necklace. Maybe just hold them and close your eyes and meditate. This is your body. This is your temple. And the more you feel into it, the more you remember your power. So that's my journey, a part of my journey anyway, from self-conscious to self-aware, from shame to sensual presence. Waist beads are now a part of my ritual of coming home. They began as my ritual of coming home, and they continue to be as my daily ritual of coming home into myself. And I invite you to find what works for you, what brings you back to your body with love. And if I'm being partial, I have to suggest Mickey Magic belly beads, of course. But anything that resonates with you, really. And that's the real talk. If you felt seen by this video, drop a comment. Let me know your experience with body awareness. And if you're ready to explore your own waist bead ritual, you can check out Mickey Magic Belly Beads in my links. And just know that everything that I make is handmade with intention, with love, with ancestral awareness, with empowerment, with beauty, with presence, with authenticity, with sensuality and beauty. Until next time, stay soft, stay sacred, stay magical, stay you.